Hello Aries, Johnny Alchemy here. Thank you again for joining me on my channel. We're going to be doing your mid-February tarot card reading for 2024, February. So let's pull out some cards and see what we got going on. Again, this is going to be a general reading, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Everything here is to help you gain some clarity or insight in your own situations, so you can create or manifest the life that you want for yourself. Okay, so let's see here. Let's talk about things things from the past. So for some of you, I see here already Two of Cups reversed, also Three of Swords reversed. Certain things here for anyone in the past, whether if there's something going on with past relationships, if anyone had left a relationship at all in the near past at all, it's talking about facing those things, understanding, like, for some of you, especially with this Three of Swords, shows that you are going through this healing process, and a lot of you are starting to either get over it or have gotten over it yourself. I think for some of you, this healing process, whether it be tied to love or romantic partners, or this could even represent friends with that Two of Cups. Even friends fall apart, drift apart, if you will. All of that stuff happens, and it does take a toll on our emotional heart center. So there's talking something from the past about healing from those things, learning how to separate your emotions from past situations or past people, and to also heal from those things, to find understanding, to find healing, to find wisdom and lessons from those experiences as well. We also have the Justice card here in the reversed also. So here it's saying two things, really. You're learning how to be fair with yourself, again, with that healing process. Talking about fairness, learning how to use your judgment in a wise way, in a way where it's not just punishing, where you're not punishing yourself or anything like that. Because I know I can be guilty of that as well, where, you can do something that wasn't so great or made a horrible decision, or looking back retrospectively and thinking, wow, I really shouldn't have gotten with this person, let's say, for some of you who resonate with that. Or even more so, just making a decision that didn't benefit you, which you probably knew better at that time, but you chose it because maybe it was the easy way out. Maybe it was something where, you just thought it was all right to do so, and it ultimately may have bit you in the butt a little bit. From my own experiences, really, that's what I'm talking from. But really, with the Justice card, it's saying, learning how to be fair with yourself. As I said, it's not just punishing yourself, and also it's learning the lesson of justice in the major arcana is the fact that, for every action there's a consequence. For every action there's a resulting factor from there, so it's something where I think it's really saying also increasing your wisdom, which is what the Judge in the Justice card also represents as well. Being wise in your judgments, maybe with people, maybe you're wiser from those situations as well, learning to look out for red flags now, or triggers or anything like that, where this past relationship, whether it be romantic or with a friend of some kind, knowing that, maybe those are things I have to look out for and see that they're red flags, and understand maybe I don't have to be so emotionally invested when I see those things happen now. Maybe I can see that as a way to be a little more cautious and to feel things out, give it more time, etc. So for some of you who resonate with that, talking about a lot of healing, gaining a lot of wisdom, and also just a lot of emotional healing, basically, from the past. And as we move forward, I love to see this. Didn't even see this card. So just like that Justice card, the Queen of Swords is very much like that Justice card right here. So Queen of Swords right here, very much the same thing. It's really talking about having that mental clarity. So I think for some of you, as you've healed and have healed from that past and any emotional wounds that you may have experienced, now you're saying that, now you've learned better, you've become wiser, you know what you're willing to accept. And also with the sword that she carries, that's her boundaries. She knows that if there's something coming her way that, now that she knows wiser not to accept in her life, she uses that sword to guard herself, to say, you're only allowed this far or this deep into my aura, my energy field, my life, my personal life, etc. So I think for some of you, there's a big lesson here where you learned how to become wiser. You learned how to get a lot of clarity from your past experiences as well. As we move on, we got two major arcanas. We got the Emperor here in the reversed. So I think for some of you, Emperor, this is like the archetypal patriarch patriarchal person. So it could be, if this partner was a husband or even just a spouse of any kind, general reading. So it could be man or woman, doesn't really matter. But if it was your spouse, or if it was someone you really thought that you could marry, that you could see a long-term life with, I think this might be referring to that person, saying that you're letting them go even more so. You're even letting go of the fact on that deeper level, saying, I saw long-term vision with this person and now I don't, from past experiences who have resonated with that. So it's saying, you're really learning how to let them go. You're learning also to find power in just letting go of control, because that's also what the Emperor also represents, is a loss of control, which not necessarily is a bad thing. Sometimes when we accept that it is what it is, and when you accept that there are forces beyond our control in general in life, that sometimes there are circumstances and that we have no control over, that it is just what it is, and that's okay, and that we have to accept the things that we can't control and just focus on the things that we can. So I think there for the Emperor, I think there's something there also in that wisdom and mental clarity of that Queen of Swords to say, I can't control his reactions, or I can control certain reactions or consequences or circumstances of my life. So I just have to accept those things with grace, with understanding, even though it can be frustrating at times. But I'm not going to put all of my focus on there. I can only focus on what I can control and change in my life for the better. And even more so, we see that there with the Magician. I see that here in terms of by accepting those things that we can't control, you are focusing on things that you can. And the Magician is all about manifesting those things. This is the Master Manifestor, as I always like to call this card, And by doing so, on this card, he has all the suits of the tarot on his altar. And so I think for you, after going through, whoever has gone through a emotional healing journey, or some type of experience where they may had to go through a down spell, if you will, and they had to pick themselves back up and move on with their life, I think those are the biggest lessons. And I think here you've learned a lot of things, as I said, with all those suits of tarot, that they all represent, to make life into what you need it to be or what you want it to be. So I think here in the present, you have all this clarity and you understand, where your focus is, where your drive is, and what it is exactly what you want to be creating in the future as well. As we move forward to the future or big themes to think about, let's see. We got Two of Swords and also the Two of Pentacles. So here is talking about choices of some kind. I think Two of Swords, definitely between two ways of thinking. That could be something. Two ways of communicating something, an idea, or saying a communication to someone that you might be wanting to say something to. It could be something romantic. It could just be something where you want to talk about someone, maybe a difficult conversation, anything like that as well. We also got the Two of Pentacles here. I'm going to touch upon this with the Nine of Pentacles. So something here talking about possibly decisions with your abundance, maybe health, your finances, job, career, whatever it may be. But having two twos here, it says, there's certain decision making, there's going to be a certain decision in the future or during this month for you regarding something like that. Talking to someone about maybe future prospects for a job, or changing jobs, promotions, changing careers, starting a side business, anything like that. Or also, as I said, even with your health. And we also, as I said, with that Nine of Pentacles as well, I think here there's going to be a lot of learning for you in terms of building up your self-esteem, building up your self-confidence. I think here it's really saying, as I said, with that Queen of Swords and that Magician, you have the mental clarity now to where you've gained wisdom from your first-hand experiences. Now I think for some of you, you're learning how to really ignite that fire from within, to find that love and self-confidence, and for it to really start bringing it to the surface, where people can start to see that, where you start to put out that frequency of self-confidence, of high self-esteem, of self-love out there, where people will start to notice it even more. So seeing that especially in that Nine of Pentacles. So in the general reading so far, this is definitely what I see for some of you Aries out there, for those of you who resonate with this so far. Lots of healing from emotional burdens or wounds from the past. You've learned a lot and learned to accept things that you can't, and are focusing on things that you are willing to create in your life now that you have learned learned from your past experiences. And now here, there's a lot of decisions for you in terms of trying to change something in terms of your abundance. And your self-esteem and self-confidence is going to start growing to the surface from that internal journey that you may have gone through with the healing of the past. And so for this next 3 cards, these are going to be things that you have, well, here's one, things that you have dealt with or are dealing with, and now you are learning how to let go so that new energies can come in. We got lots of pentacles. I see here we got the 5 of Pentacles, we got the 10 of Pentacles. Last one. Oh, we got 2 here. Might as well. We got the Empress and the 10 of Swords. Yep, okay. So, 5 of Pentacles here. This is really telling me that you're going to have, as I said with that 9 of Pentacles, you're going to have a very big shift of focus. The focus is going to be on, instead of, sometimes when life gets hard, we can focus on the things that we may be lacking, or maybe the help that we don't have, or maybe the resources or abundance that we don't have, the friends that we don't have, the things that we are lacking. You know, I think for some of you, with some of those things in the past, I think you're learning how to let those things go. So this shift of focus now is going to be, as I said with that Emperor, the things that we can't control, to accept those things and say, okay, life may be hard, but what do I have? Let me take stock and inventory of the things that give me happiness, the things that still support me, the things that still give me safety and comfort. So I think here for some of you, shifting, there's going to be what you're letting go really is the idea of anything where there is a lack of spiritual poverty, or like lacking in any type of way. And now your shift of focus is going to be on, what do I have? What can I be? What am I grateful for? What helps me? What gives me life? What gives me safety? What gives me peace? And by focusing on those things, it's going to change your vibration. It's going to change your mood and your focus, as I said with that 9 of Pentacles as well, where you're going to start to feel more comfortable and confident in what it is that you have and with your surroundings and circumstances around you. 10 of Pentacles as well. So there's something here with possible family life. 10 of Pentacles, you know, in terms of also legacy abundance. So here, I think for some of you, especially as I said with that 2 and 9 of Pentacles, talking about future things or big themes to think about down the road. 10 of Pentacles, anything that is going to take, it's going to, 2 things really. You're going to remove illusions on things where you think you have to have certain things, have to have certain materials, have to have certain wealth, and then ultimately those ideas might be way too grand for what you may realistically need or want out of your life. So I think those illusions will be removed from that to give you a very real perspective on what you think wealth is. Also it's going to remove anything that blocks you from wanting to gain this type of legacy grand wealth as well. Anyone who really has a family, if there's anyone here with families who they're trying to have enough resources and wealth for down the line for future generations, I think anything that is going to block that in terms of lacking of clarity on how to move up or increase your wealth. Also, maybe even doubt on terms of whether you want to try something new, change of career, starting a new business, etc., starting a side hustle on top of what your main income is. So certain things like that where there might be any blockages or any doubts toward increasing your wealth to a much bigger way to take care of those around you. That's something that will be taken away as well. You're going to be able to focus and have confidence, as I said with that 9 of Pentacles, to go for those goals, to look at it in a way where it is experimentation, trying, and taking it on as an adventure, versus, as I said with that shift of focus, where maybe the focus could have been, oh, I can't do this because it could be too risky, it could be something that's fear-based, with doubt or insecurity. As I said, all those things are going to be removed, and ultimately more confidence and self-esteem will be brought up to the surface from within. We also have 2 other cards came out here. We had the 10 of Swords. So definitely for some of you, whoever resonated with that relationship part of the reading, that old person of who that person was or who you were in that relationship, that person is no longer. Ten of Swords is saying you're letting go of who you were, the things that you've experienced that were especially attached to pain or keeping you stuck in the past, anything like that, because the Ten of Swords, 10 being an ending of a cycle. So I think for some of you, you've gone through this cycle, you've learned how to heal, and even not even for a relationship, just any type of healing for some of you, where you've learned how to get over pain and to make peace with it. So now you're letting that old version of yourself die, and now you're being transformed and being awakened to the newest version of yourself who is healed and ready to take on a new chapter. We also have the Empress here. So anything here that takes away from your self-care, from your self-love, anything that kind of brings you out of balance as well. So the Empress here is all about taking care of yourself, finding beauty in life, birthing new ideas, being reborn, as I said with that Ten of Swords as well. So here, I think for some of you, if you've gone through very hectic times, challenging times, or very busy times of any kind, where you've had to put your self-care to on the side a little bit, I think for some of you, you're going to start to find that rebalancing act, if you will, where you're going to be able to start focusing on yourself more, being able to prioritize or reprioritize what is the most important, and including yourself on that list above anything else. Because if anything, really, you should be on the top of that list because you're the one who's doing everything. So here, I think for some of you, you're going to start to really reprioritize yourself. As I said, also, this lands right next to that Nine of Pentacles. So, as I said, more self-confidence, more self-esteem, and more self-love. That's very important, and I love to see that for you. So these next 3 cards are going to be blessings from the universe that are coming to you that maybe have not shown yet, but maybe on their way. So far, we have the Temperance card, another major arcana. We got the Two of Pentacles again. Very curious. Love to see that. Synchronicities, whenever I see them, whenever I do readings, talks about the universe is saying there is something there that I said and I meant what I said. So hopefully that resonates with someone out there. So let's start off here. Temperance card, talking about, as I said, the rebalancing act. I literally just said that. Temperance is all about balancing. As you can see here, this angel is mixing 2 different cups. So as I can almost see for some of you, it's you are one cup, and the other cup is all the fulfilling things that you're doing, the things that give you emotional fulfillment and all that other stuff, all your joy, all the things that give you that safety or abundance, whatever it may be. So I think here, as this angel is mixing both cups, they're ultimately mixing it to create one singular cup. So I think here, as I said with that Empress card, there's going to be a lot more balance in your life. There's going to be a lot more prioritization of yourself as well, where you're going to include yourself in your daily activities, and you're going to say to yourself, did I eat today? Do I need to take a nap? Have I done everything I need to do to make sure the house is okay? Do I need to make sure I've eaten all my meals? Do I need to meditate today? All of those things, where all your daily activities and all the things you need to do for your self-care, they're going to be mixed into one thing where you realize that this is the full picture. You know, that you're not something that is put to the side. And that's wonderful to see with Temperance. Balance ultimately is coming your way. We also have the Two of Pentacles. So here, even more so, this card also does represent balance as well. You know, as you can see, this person is juggling these 2 pentacles with the with the infinity, going back and forth. So I think for some of you, not only is it a reaffirmation of balance, but for some of you, if there is some type of business choice here for you, as I said, it appeared twice here. You know, so for some of you, if there is a choice that you're trying to make for your health or your career or for your abundance of any kind, I think here you're going to be able to understand what the best choice is for you. So I think there's some type of clarity here for some of you if you are making any big changes toward your career, business, finances, and anything like that, as I said before. So expect more clarity when it comes to anything in that aspect of your life, anything that affects your abundance. We also have the Five of Wands right here. Five of Wands is really saying here, any type of frustrating situation or any emotions of frustration or any anything where you're dealing with people where you feel like you're not being heard or being acknowledged in any type of way, if you're feeling if you're feeling like you are in competition with anyone and it does get to you in a certain way where you feel like you have to keep proving yourself against this person, or someone is really trying to push your buttons in some type of competitive way, expect the universe to give you a lot of peace with that. So anything with frustration, anything with difficult people who may drain you, all those things, expect those things to be more resolved, where you're going to find, maybe through this balancing act, as I said, where you're going to find more balance, you're also going to find more peace and learn how to let those things go. As I said, with that Emperor card in reversed as well, when you're realizing, okay, maybe this is something where it's just, I don't have to put my energy toward or give my energy toward those frustrating or annoying people that I may have to deal with. And I can just learn how to detach myself and say, they're always going to be that way, or this situation really isn't going to change. So I'm not going to force my energies into there to think I'm going to change it, when ultimately if I can't, so I'm going to focus it on myself or something else that makes me happy or more joyful or more peaceful. So expect more balance, some clarity in terms of possible job or health or career or finances. Also expect a lot more peace in terms of anything that causes frustration in your life as well. So finally, these last 3 cards are going to be some major themes for you to think about. I liked this card, that was good, with this reading. And these are just major themes. The first one we pulled out was visualize. We also got miracle, love to see that. I mean, for some of you, if you did go through a healing journey, that is miraculous, and I love to see that. And we also got light, okay. So let's start off here, visualize, love to see this. So visualize, I think for some of you, if there are certain decisions you want to make moving forward, I think the best thing here, especially seeing that Magician card as well, if you're trying to manifest something, they always say the world exists in our mind. It exists in our thoughts. You know, our reality exists up here. It's the principle of mentalism. You know, so what our thoughts are is reflected back into our reality. So here, visualizing, using your mind in the best way possible to benefit you by visualizing the outcomes that you want, working your way backwards. Really, what is it? What's the end goal of what it is that you want? Visualize it in your mind down to the finest details in terms of, how do I act now that I have this, or now that I've reached this role or this goal in my life? How is it that I would be? How would I present myself? How would I carry myself? How would I act when I'm faced with frustrating situations or frustrating emotions, or if I'm hurt or anything like that? How would I respond to those things? And also saying to yourself, now that I've got those things, how did I get those things? What type of characteristics did I have to show to attain those things? What type of person did I have to be to attain the goal that I wanted? So I think for some of you, I think if there is a big goal or big change for some of you, I think it's good to visualize working your way backwards with that. Visualization, by answering all those questions that I did ask, you're going to come across certain aspects of yourself, and that if you realize, and then you have to go back into who you are in your present moment and say, okay, where am I on, let's say if the person I visualize is someone who's very persistent, am I a persistent person, or do I back away when I come to certain challenges or frustrating situations, or do I push through them to make sure that I get the results that I want? If it's something like, let's say, if you've been hurt, am I the person who, like myself, as I said before, am I going to punish myself for making a poor decision and waste time, months, years by doing so, and then affect ultimately my long-term perspective of life, of love, of everything? Or am I going to learn how to be patient, empathetic, and forgiving to myself, and allow me to be human, to say that I make mistakes and it's okay, you know, and that I have to pick myself up, dry off the tears, and move forward? You know, so I think for some of you, visualizing, putting yourself in your future, bringing it back to your present, and seeing where you are in those characteristics will help you judge where you may need to put some work into, maybe learn how to push a little bit more, or to embody those characteristics more to attain and be that person who can get that goal, if that makes sense. So now we also got miracle and light. Love to see this. I mean, I think miracle really is for some of you, if you've gone through any type of difficult situation, the miracle of healing, the miracle of a new day, as you can see here with the sun. And also light is saying, like, you're coming back to the light. I think if anyone has gone through a dark time at all, I think here it's saying, you've gone through your dark, dark night of the soul. You've gone through your dark period, and now you've made sense of it, you've healed from it, and now you're bringing any type of pain, any type of shadow that was unhealed, and now you really are bringing it to the light where it's able to incorporate into yourself as one true being. And that's not something to be feared, not something that causes you pain anymore. It is now something that you understand and accept about your situation and experiences. So this is kind of what I see for some of you Aries out there. Lots of things happening, lots of healing, lots of new things being born and brought into existence. And I see a lot of hear a lot of things with money and or health or finances of some kind, where you're going to make some decisions that will hopefully increase your abundance as well. And also a lot of self-love and balance. So this is what I see for you so far for your mid-December, February reading. If this did resonate with you, don't forget to hit that like button. Leave me a comment if you wish, and do not forget to subscribe if you haven't. I want to say a big thank you to any returning viewers who have been watching me so far. Thank you so much for your support. And I just want to thank everyone in general for sticking with me this long and watching this video. So thank you again, and I will see you next time. Wishing you well. Goodbye.